Alright, welcome back guys. We got a good one today. Unfortunately though, the audio has left the chat for some reason, but we get to work on the bike and make it lighter and faster. So that's what's coming up today. For parts today, I got a plethora of them, starting off with a saddle, along with handlebars, got some crank covers, crank protectors I should say, new bottle cages, new grips, along with I'm also changing my bike computer mount, so that's going to be on there too. So along with all these parts, I am going to weigh the parts and the bike prior, so we can get a starting base and then see how much weight I saved. Alright, so here we are weighing. Had to get it a little fancy with it just because of the way it was, but as you can see, we're coming up to 26.4 pounds right now. From the factory, I believe it was 27 and like 3/4 of a pound. So already, just from the little bit I've done before this, I've saved a little bit over a pound. Now that that's taken care of, we get to start taking parts off. So gonna start with the computer mount you see right here and my outbound lighting mount too, because we're changing the handlebar also, along with the stem cap, because the one I'm putting on replaces where the stem cap goes, so that will be cool. Now that those parts are off, the new mount cap comes in at 16 grams, which is pretty light. The stem cap and old computer mount come in at 42, so that's easily over double the gram weight that I'm saving. 26 grams right there. Okay, so here we are putting on the new stuff. Gonna start with our mile-long bolt. For some reason, just goes through the center and tightens up right where the old one went. That gets followed by two smaller screws that will connect the mount part to that stem cap that we put on. And because we're excited, we get to test our computer on, put that on, see how it fits. And it's a lot better already from when I raced at Usury and had the nasty setup that I absolutely hated, but I had to run it because I misjudged things. Along with our new excitement, we put on my outbound lighting mount and then realized, well, I gotta change the bars. So let's go ahead and take that back off and do that. Alrighty, now we move on to the handlebars. So gotta start by taking off the levers pretty much and whatever else I got on there. Now with these, there is a little pin you need to push in to be able to open it and pull it off. Now we speed things up because I get the ratchet and just gonna loosen up the 4 bolts that tighten up the handlebar. Now we can go ahead and just pull the bar out. Fits right through. Now we get to weigh them, see how much I save. So the bar I'm taking off weighs in at 403 grams, which pretty heavy. You could definitely feel the difference. Now we get to weigh the new carbon bars, which is the Race Face Next SL for super light. And I will say, these are very light, weighing in at 168 grams. Crazy. Just with the bar, I'm saving a little over half a pound there. Next up in our bag of parts are handlebar grips. Here are my old ones. These are the extra chunky from ESI. These weigh in at 68 grams, and caps and all. And then we got the new ones. These are the Racer's Edge from ESI grips, and they're a little lighter too. And these weigh in at 58 grams. And the difference here between the two isn't much, but anything helps. 10 grams. Now we get to put on the new bar, which is pretty exciting. Slide that baby through. And then we get the old one, just trying to match up the angle at which it was sitting best I can. Then once we do that and we're happy with it, we get to tighten up those 4 bolts. And when you do tighten these, it's best to go in a star-shaped pattern, or I guess across each other, just so it tightens up evenly. Then of course I got excited, put on one of the levers on before I put the grips. Now the install procedure for these is get some IPA, isopropyl alcohol, squirt some in there, put your finger so it doesn't fall out, swish it around, make a mess, and then slide that baby on. See, now we can put our levers on, which on this side is my dropper post and also my lockout for the suspension. Now we get to move on the other side, throw in our end cap, make sure it's nice and even, followed by the grip, and then after that we could throw our shifting levers on. Alrighty, now for a good chunk of weight to come off as well with this next component. As you can see, I am starting to take off my seat, the saddle. Now this is the factory saddle that came with the bike when I purchased it, and you know, did its job, but now it's just time to go lighter and faster, hopefully. And big difference, you can see there I had the GoPro mount that I rarely used, but it's part of it, so I just left it. And this one we weigh in at 308 grams. Now for the saddle, I went with this carbon 3D printed crazy thing from Physique, I've heard. Physic, I don't know. Starts with an F, ends with a K, has a bunch of Z's and I's. And I went with the Antares Adaptive 150 millimeter wide, I believe it is, for the cheeks. Now on the website they advertise this as 195 grams, and it's spot on at 195 grams. So that totals out to 113 gram savings just in between the seats. So now we get to put the new saddle on. Nothing crazy, just same process as taking it off. Gotta put her back on. Now that this is finishing up, I decided to weigh the bike this night. I am still doing things later in this video, but as she hangs here, she currently weighs in at 25.3 pounds, so 1.1 pounds in weight saving so far. Okay, sometime later. Now we get to put on the little crank covers on, and yes, that is a impact in my hand, and yes, I am impacting my pedals off because I don't want to deal with it, and it's a lot faster. So for pedals, I've been using the Shimano XT pedals. My dad had bought them way back when he started cycling, and then got off of them and now I use them. And while I don't show it here, I actually took these apart and cleaned them up, put new grease in them, and all that fun stuff. So keep an eye out for that video too in these coming weeks. But here's the brand new crank cover, crank end protector, we'll call it, race face. They were cheap on Amazon, and they just literally slide up. They're kind of loose on there, but once you put on the pedal, it's tight. Alrighty, well, thought I was done with the video, but I got one more thing. As you can see with the plethora of parts on the table and the bike back up, gonna do some more weight measurements and also put a new tire on the back. Because I got this Rush Pro 29 by 2.2. Put it on, see and test it out tomorrow. Just so it gets a little less resistance, a little lighter, and eventually for my gravel bike, I think I'm gonna put these on depending on the race and whatnot. So we'll see what happens. Last time I used a 2.2 or skinnier than a 2.4 was with Maxxis way back when I was like starting out, and didn't really work too well. I don't think I put the tire on right, to be honest. But redemption. So maybe even I put this on the back, move this up front. I don't know yet. We'll see what happens. But anyways, put this on, and then actually, since this tire is coming off, gonna get the weight of what originally came with the bike, and then this rear wheel, and get you guys a more accurate thing. Anyways, I think we jump into it. This one, or they both are gonna have sealant. Looks like this one dried up pretty quick. I know it was fairly fresh. Well, actually, the time whenever I put it in was when I got the wheel set, so there's no reason to have dried out so much. Yeah, there's not very much in there. Alright. Okay. And it's still very hot up here. So, bare weight, XTR cassette. On the scale, we come out to 1227. This thing, or from Canyon, the DT Swiss with the XT cassette, comes in at 1430 or 1474. Obviously a lot lighter, 200 or so grams. And then we have the tire 2. Actually, I'm gonna weigh that. I don't know how exactly. Maybe I'll use this thing. It just won't be too accurate. Here I get 1.7 pounds. And then with this one, I need to cut the zip tie. I realized there was a measurement I wanted to take, and I need the tire on to do that, and I forgot. Just was gonna measure the width while it's on the wheel. So here, this measures in at 1.3, so that's half a pound. It's kind of crazy. This one does have a little sealant in it, but I mean, yeah, I could feel it. And they're both the same casing, SCT, so, and the same TPI. Well, I say, let's get this baby on. Make sure we go the right way. I may put another rush on the front, like I said. I was thinking maybe I could put that one, but if I put that one on that, I don't have to take it off again. The reason I want to put on that one is just in case I get a puncture during a race. And if it's a longer one, meaning lapped or timed in the way that, you know, it's 3 hour, 6 hour deal, just have that spare. So I probably will put a tire on, but it is going to be a new one. That's how we roll. She's skinny, I can tell you that. All right, well, just gotta set the bead and use my Milwaukee pump. Just need the adapter. So if you buy, that's cool. I guess I didn't need my valve. Should probably put sealant in it. I'll put it in after, it's fine. If you buy Milwaukee pump, not that sponsored or anything, it comes with little adapters on the back, and it comes with the Presto valve one. So all I have to do is put that adapter on. I bought this piece, but if not, you could just screw them on. This is just a lot faster. If you do it right. Alrighty, well, I think we seated. Now we could put this one back on. It's definitely a lot messier when they have sealant in there already. I just realized I could do this too. So remember the weight of just the wheel. Now with the tire on, let's see how much we can save. If it can balance. So as it sits, 2265. 2267, sorry. With the old set. New one coming on is 1855. That's a good little chunk. It's all good, it's all good. So, with 30 pounds in it, the widest part measures at 62.28 millimeters. With this one, that's gonna measure in at 55.39 millimeters wide. So what does that mean? It's skinnier. Actually, since we're here, let's put sealant before I forget. Probably should have done it earlier, but here we are. Now I did buy these little bottles off Amazon, and it's 4 ounces, and that's what they say it should put, or you should put in there. So just gonna put this whole little bottle in. Then they're refillable. They have a little cap on them. I think that'd be great. Maybe just when you travel, put like a little tape over the cap, just so it don't open up or squirt or anything like that. So that'll wrap that little project up. Test that out tomorrow. I'll give you guys a little update. But then, if you remember, that I had changed from pink to black carbon. I don't know if it's true carbon, but and so all because of a little weight. So when I put this on the scale, comes in at 36 grams, the pink one that I had originally on, and I had two of them. Count them, two. So that's 36 times 2, that's a big number. What, 72? And then we put my black carbon ones on, and this weighs in at 17 grams. And I'm actually only running one. So that little bit of weight savings helps. Who would have known bottle cages are so heavy? I don't say so heavy, but you know, there is definitely a difference out there. And me being me, finding every little, or attempting to find every little edge, especially now for some reason I'm really on the weight side. Saving the weight, which is the reason for this video. Any little bit counts. So I've gotten rid of like the bell, that thing was heavy. I don't know how much it weighed. And yeah, just did all my other stuff. All right. You may see a little difference in quality here. For some reason, my other camera was just being weird and it was not coming out very good, so I have to re-record some stuff. But I'm on the GoPro. But we have finally finished the build in regards to making my bike lighter. So now you can see all the fun stuff. The 2.2 that I put on the back was great. You know, I put a good chunk of miles on it. I raced on it and definitely fast. And I had no issues, you know, through the rocks and rough stuff. Just this past weekend I was up in Flag, a lot of rocks, and I was like, for sure hit something, I was like, oh dude, that's a flat. And no, it was all good, so I was very impressed. The only thing is, during my race at Vertigo, which is the night one, one little section it skidded a little bit, and I think that's just because I was running a little bit too high of pressures. Still playing with that, so I'm figuring that out. But other than that, you know, anything I wanted it to do, it did. So that's good. So I'd highly recommend them. You know, a little skinnier or whatever, but I think I'm gonna run them. I'm gonna run with it on the back and probably put a 2.4 rush up front, so the booster a little less rolling resistance and whatnot. So, and I thought it did great. Let's go ahead and check the bike out in its final form for right now. Here she is. She's probably a little dirty because, like I said, I was pre-running up north in Flag for Bear Jaw, so you can see them all. It was a little muddy, nothing too bad. You can see all the scrapes and stuff, and they held up. So quick little recap, we did put on the new Physique seat. Got the carbon bars from Raceface, the next SL. I put on these little protector boots and they've been working great because I always smack stuff. Oh, the new grips from Essie, the Racer's Edge. And that's kind of it that I can remember. Of course, I had to put the stickers on. Boom, boom, boom. And then change that out. And then new is I put some more on here. So you can see it, there's a chunk missing because my heel hit it. I had taken off the fender for a little bit reduction of weight too. And yeah, that's kind of it. All that I can remember. I did go through my pedals, lube them babies up. And way back when I did switch to the one bottle cage instead of the two, I may put a second one on depending on the race, but for now just the one. That's all I need. We'll take it into those longer ones. And yeah, you know, here we have the computer mount. Way better than what it was before with this thing and all whacked out. Yeah, really happy with the build. Just from these little parts, I have saved, I think it was like 1.3 pounds, something like that. maybe like 1.1, 1.3, something like that. Just from tire, saddle, bars, everything combined. So now the next step is maybe change this to electronic, hint hint. And I think all I can really do is probably change my chainring to something else. Carbon cranks. I do want to get a new bottom bracket eventually. Yeah, I can't really do much more for now. That's the bike for a little while, I guess, because I gotta recover now financially. There she is. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. After this, I think I got videos lined up. I'm trying to do every 2 weeks for a video. If not, then as soon as I can. But my goal is 2 weeks, so I really gotta step it up. I don't think I have enough for every week, but I think 2 weeks is good, especially coming around because now all the races are getting back in. I'm getting back in shape and racing. So 2 weeks. You can expect something every 2 weeks. But thank you guys for watching. I will catch you on the next one. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all the fun stuff. And I'll see you on the next one.